The visit of Bradford City in the fourth round of the FA Cup kicks off a potentially crucial 7 days in Chelsea's season. This the first of 3 games in a week here at Stamford Bridge, with the second leg of the League Cup semi-final and that mammoth match against Manchester City, both on the horizon. For the next few hours, though, it's the Cup that Chelsea have won 7 times which takes centre stage, with the Blues looking to progress to round 5, ahead of a Bantam side who currently find themselves in the League One playoff places, and who have decent Cup pedigree in recent seasons, knocking out Aston Villa and Arsenal en route to the League Cup final 2 years ago. Bradford are competing at this stage of the competition for the first time in 15 years. They sold out their 6,000 ticket allocation in a matter of hours, and boss Phil Parkinson said they could have shifted 20,000 tickets had they been available. Such is the interest in this tie in Yorkshire. Jose Mourinho being made to wait. He's emphatic in his desire to get through to the next round. Today he comes up against a man who's faced before him, Phil Parkinson, his Colchester side, beaten by the Blues here in the 5th round of this competition 9 years ago. Big afternoon for Andre Marriner. First time he's refereed at Stamford Bridge since Chelsea beat Arsenal 6-0, and he sent off the wrong player, hoping for a smoother ride this afternoon. Let's check on the teams then. Only Gary Cahill and John Mikel Obi retain their places in the side from Tuesday. There's a start for Andreas Christensen, who's first at the bridge. Fellow academy graduates Nathan Aké and Ruben Loftus-Cheek are on the bench. A big day for Felipe Moraes and Billy Knott. Both spent time at Chelsea. Moraes is being watched by a family of Blues supporters this afternoon. Ben Williams starts in goal in place of regular first choice Jordan Pickford, who is ineligible. Only Schalke have prevented Chelsea from winning at home this season. Today the Blues go in search of a club record 13th successive home victory in all competitions. Alongside me for this afternoon's match is Clive Walker. Clive, are you expecting a difficult afternoon like we saw against Watford in round 3, or a cruise to the 5th round?
Well, it wasn't the best against Watford in the early stages. Obviously we came through, but I think that maybe we'll learn something from that. I think it took the intervention of a couple of substitutes and also the manager at half-time to change things around. But having said that, you know, you'd like to think a League One side shouldn't be able to compete with us at this level, as long as we're mentally prepared, which I'm sure we are, as long as the lads are mentally switched on and ready for the onslaught. Bradford are going to work their socks off. They're going to be in our faces, they're going to try and stop us playing, but I like to think our quality will shine through. We've got enough big names and stars on the pitch. You know, great to see Andreas Christensen out there, and I've more or less waxed lyrical about him over the recent years. You know, I've been watching him grow through the youth system, and he certainly is ready for this start. I think it's a perfect opportunity to play in today. Good to see Nathan Aké as well, and we must mention Ruben Loftus-Cheek on the bench. So a little bit of youth there as well. So I would like to think that if we can get some goals early on, maybe there's a chance for the other 2 guys on the bench to get some minutes on the pitch. But it's about going through to the next round. We've got enough players with enough skill and quality out there to do that. It's just mentally, as long as we get it right at the beginning. I don't want us to get it right in the second half. I want us to get it right in the first 10 minutes.
Avoid the kind of situation that Manchester United now find themselves in, having failed to beat Cambridge. Didier Drogba wearing the captain's armband for the Blues this afternoon, 5th on the all-time list of scorers in this competition for Chelsea. "14 wins, 1 draw in all competitions at Stamford Bridge this season. It is an exceptional record." And Kurt Zouma, who got on the score sheet against Watford and impressed us that night too, partnering Gary Cahill. And first touch there for Cesar Azpilicueta. Good to see him back so quickly. We did fear he could be out for a couple of weeks with that groin problem.
Yeah, we did. Great to see him back, and of course, oh dear, that's a poor challenge as well on him. There's an arm in the face there.
It's the ex-Chelsea man, Felipe Moraes.
Yeah, interesting game for Billy Knott as well. I mean, John Stead will play up front for Bradford. Let's have a look at this challenge again. There's an elbow in the face. That's disappointing. The referee doesn't see it. However, that's what I said earlier on. They're going to be in our faces and trying to cause us problems, and that's what I mean. I don't mean fouling us like that, but I mean they'll be very, very close to us. I was just going to say it's a game for Billy Knott and Felipe Moraes as well, but Billy Knott playing just behind John Stead. I mean, basically it looked like a 4-4-2, but I think Billy Knott will have to drop in a lot more and play more or less a 5 across midfield. But when they're in possession, I guess he's going to try and break forward. So he'll be the type of guy that we're going to keep an eye on. You know, John, Mikel Obi and Ramirez, probably John more than Ramirez, are going to have to keep an eye on him.
First touch there for James Hansen, who's also a bit of a handful. Wearing number 9 for Bradford, he's 6'4". Something for Kurt Zouma to have to contend with. Here's John Stead, played against Chelsea on 5 occasions throughout his career. He's lost every single time. This is what Bradford will have wanted, a feel of the ball in opposition territory in the opening couple of minutes of the match. Here's Moraes again, trying to engineer a crossing position. It's not a bad ball in either. It was awkward for Petr Cech underneath his crossbar.
Yeah, a little bit too close to him, and you expect Petr to take that with ease, and he does so.
Free kick for the foul on Drogba.
Again, this is one of those decisions, and I say it probably at least once every game, Matt. This is where I feel referees don't understand the game. This is two big players coming together. I don't think it's a foul. Didier's backing in. Centre-back's holding his ground. You know, you're going to get a collision of some sort, and just because one player goes to ground doesn't mean it's a foul. For me, we've got away with one here, but maybe we can score from it.
Oscar's certainly got the craft to engineer a chance for somebody. Wasn't his best delivery in truth. It's broken out as far as Ramirez. He's managed to get away from Knott, and Drogba steers it back into his path, but unable to find him. Here's Moraes again. Did actually play Felipe Moraes in Chelsea's first game under Jose Mourinho back in 2004, a pre-season friendly at Oxford. He came on for the last few minutes and played a senior game for the first team. Here's Loic Remy, one of those looking to impress this afternoon. Teed up for Azpilicueta. Drogba's made his run and is onside despite the arms in the air.
It's a good run, isn't it? You know, they're going to have to get used to that. The top quality players time their runs better than they will do in League One. Lovely little ball around the corner by Azpilicueta.
A lovely flick from Drogba too. Might be able to shoot from here.
He had a choice there, Didier, didn't he? He had a choice of Salah square and take this shot on, check back and try and do it yourself, which he tried to do, but lost control of the ball.
Fiery start, as we were expecting. Bradford back by that massive following that they brought. They filled the shed end. They do get over 13,000 on average for their home games. There's big James Hansen.
You just feel it's one of those games at the moment. The fantastic support that they've got. They're the ones making all the noise, Matt, and you tend to feel we need to do something to quieten down. Often it's the other way around. You're trying to quieten down the home ground when you play away, but not that way for Bradford. They're enjoying their day.
Had to work hard to get to this stage. They had a come-from-behind win against local rivals Halifax in round 1. They brushed aside Dartford 4-1 at home in round 2. Then they had that 3-3 at Millwall in the third round, which earned them a replay at Valley Parade, and they absolutely trounced the team from South East London 4-0 after Millwall had a man sent off early on. A really battling display to get that replay in the first place the last time they were in London, and they've got a throw in enemy territory here.
You'd have to say they've started the brighter of the two sides, Matt. We have to give them some credit for that. Just wonder how long they can sustain it, and what will happen when they feel that Chelsea are sort of starting to pick up the game and get into advanced positions they can't cope with. We'll have to wait and see, but at the moment, bit of credit towards them. First 5 minutes, come out the block, probably running just on adrenaline at the moment, with the pleasure of being at Stamford Bridge, but to sustain that over 90 minutes here would be nigh on impossible, but we'll have to wait and see.
There's a sense that maybe they've been distracted by this tie slightly. They've only lost 2 of their last 13 in all competitions, but those defeats have come in 2 of the last 3 matches. They were beaten at Yeovil in their last league game last weekend. Obviously, trying to get into the Championship is the priority for a club who were in the Premier League as recently as 2001. Lived the dream but paid the price for it. They were in League 2 by 2007. Here's Azpilicueta. Trying to get around Moraes. That's good defending from the Bradford midfielder. The clearance after it wasn't as impressive, only as far as Oscar. And the curler could have caused a problem for Ben Williams, but he'll be glad that his first feel of the ball is a comfortable one.
Yeah, good idea. And again, what I like to see when we have been in possession in that last third are choices. You know, the guy on the ball's got decisions to make. And nice to see we've got the options of making those right choices. And hopefully, sooner rather than later, we'll make the right choice and it'll be a good decision and we'll score from it. But quite happy with the way we've got those opportunities, and I'm sure Jose would have expected Bradford to come out like this. That we've defended quite well so far.
And a one by Hansen's going to drop for Ramirez. This is Remy. As we expected, Clive, he started right side with Salah on the left of that front three.
Well, it was to be expected, you know, and I think, you know, we can look at the likes of Diego Costas, who's our number one, given away by Bradford here.
Well recovered by Rory McArdle.
Diego Costa's our number one. I think you have to say at the moment Didier Drogba's number two, because he's had a great part to play so far this season. Didier really has stepped up to the mark. I think maybe surprised one or two having come back, but has certainly been able to stand up to the pressure and deal with things and score goals as well, which is great.
Salah's done well. He's robbed Little. Snapshot from Drogba while he was under pressure. Wasn't a great angle anyway, and he's still feeling a little niggle that he picked up a moment ago, Didier Drogba. This is a concern.
Yeah, he got a knock, didn't he? Just on the inside of his ankle, I think, from a challenger not more than 30 seconds ago. But probably didn't want this ball at this particular time, but it's one he wanted to take on. Just sat up for him a little bit. There's the challenge. Is that a twist or a knock? Looked like it's a knock to me from the initial challenge.
There's no striker on the bench, but Loic Remy is on the pitch, so be a reshuffle if required. Drogba moving a little more freely at the moment.
Yeah, the one thing we're not doing really is making the right decisions in midfield. I think up front and when we've got the ball forward, we're okay. It's just about through that midfield at the moment. We usually pass the ball out from midfield areas and find our man and keep the ball moving and take control of the game. We've not done that at the moment.
Ben Williams, the goalkeeper, has played in every round of the Cup. Jordan Pickford is on loan from Sunderland and they don't want him to play in this competition. Here's Mikel. Under pressure, and he did well in the circumstances. Salah robbed of the ball by Derby. Derby's arrow cross was a good one, but Hansen just bundled Christensen to the floor and conceded a free kick.
Yeah, it's a simple one for the referee. He's looking straight at it. I have to say, Salah really shouldn't be losing the ball. And this is what I was saying before in midfield. That's where we can't lose the ball, because we see what Bradford are all about. Saw the challenge there. Hansen all over Christensen, who is actually in the right position, Christensen, to make a challenge for the ball. And the foul obviously comes in. Free kick, Chelsea.
Is Ramirez. Remy showing some good movement in the opening 10 minutes.
Well, with no Hazard and Costa, we're looking to maybe the likes of Oscar to take control a little bit more of the game, get involved. He's not been too involved so far. And what he's capable of when he's on the ball. We're always looking for the likes of Drogba, but he needs service. I think Salah and Remy looks to be the brighter of the two at the moment, and I think Remy needs to get on the ball as well as Christensen goes forward.
It's a good run this, he's got the pace to get there as well, Andreas Christensen, and he engineered a cross from a difficult position. I'm not sure Drogba was expecting him to be able to get that ball over. Did really well there, Christensen.
Done brilliant. It's actually a terrific ball as well. It's got a little bit of check side on it, a little bit of backspin, and it just helps out Andreas Christensen with the running in behind. It didn't skid away from him, gets on the end of it, gets something into the box. It was a little bit awkward, but does well.
Here's John Stead. Away from Mikel. Knocking the ball about with real confidence are Bradford. Very impressive start.
Certainly are, but I guess they've got that nothing to lose scenario. And I think when you're in that situation, you've certainly got a chance to play to your strengths and to your ability. And in these early stages, there's no fear, so they're just getting on with the job and probably enjoying it.
Phil Parkinson has done a terrific job since he took over. He's led Bradford to Wembley twice in promotion. Return to the Championship, as I mentioned, their main aim for the season. Ramirez brought to ground by Billy, not happy to accept the hand of apology.
As we said, they'll probably be getting very close to the Chelsea players whenever they can, and Billy not a little bit too aggressive with that challenge. But I think that's what the lads have got to get used to. Got to have a good first touch today.
That's Piliqueta. Laid off for Salah, but the spin of the ball did for him, really.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where, as a left back, Felipe Luis would have just opened up his body, played it with his left foot, so the spin wouldn't have taken it out. Just a small thing, but I think Cesar can do that as well. But I think it came to him a little bit too quickly. It was a foul by John as well there. I don't think he can have too many complaints, just a barge in the back on Billy Knott.
Opportunity to try and knock one up to Big Hansen here.
Well, it gives them the opportunity, doesn't it, to throw bodies forward and use the power and the strength that they've got, and obviously work to their system. And they've probably worked on free kicks from here before.
Ramirez with the delivery, Zuma with a great header. It's broken kindly here though for the shot from Liddell, which is deflected over for the game's first corner.
Yeah, and again, Kurt Zuma, great position, gets a good header away. That's a decent enough strike, isn't it? Coming back in, it's quite a long way out. Zuma with the first header, and then we see the strike. Harry Cahill getting in the way, making sure.
Brave header that was travelling from Liddell. Race, the man for the set pieces, is going to send over the corner. Oh, great ball in! What an unbelievable save from Petr Cech. How on earth did he keep that out? Danger not quite passed yet. Now it has, whacked away by Cahill. Well, that was an incredible stop.
It's world class, Matt. It's absolutely out of this world. They'll be talking about this for a long time. But what Chelsea need to do is learn from this. There's your warning. There's the warning across the bows. You've got to mark better than that inside the 6-yard box. Here we see the towering header. He's got free space.
Great run from Andrew Davis.
Yeah, players not marking, but what a save by Petr Cech.
Big, strong hands from the big goalie, but Andrew Davis was already wheeling away in celebration. He was certain he'd scored.
I thought he had as well, to be honest, Matt. I mean, it's a terrific save. It really is, and that's what you get from our two goalkeepers, to be honest. We expect that on odd occasions. They're not always going to make those sorts of saves, but we've got to do better defensively.
Like Remy, trying to kick Chelsea into life. He hasn't been able to do so. Opening 15 minutes have followed a familiar pattern to Watford in round 3. The away team from the lower division have looked the better side. Long, long way to go yet, though. It's a rather nervous kick from Ben Williams. And Remy did well to win the header against Derby. Got it back from Oscar too. You just wonder, is that Bradford's chance come and gone?
Well, that's what I said. I just wondered if that was their opportunity, Matt. And I think that, I like to think it is. You know, I like to think that's it. You know, Chelsea now can take control of the situation totally and score a goal as Didier gets adjudged to have fouled. But while it's a little bit scruffy like that, that will suit Bradford.
Well, it might have been a foul on Drogba beforehand, but it certainly was from the big Ivorian thereafter. Just how he planned it, Phil Parkinson. Hansen's header looking to play it into the path of Stead, but Mikel's able to shepherd it behind. Now he's hurt himself too.
Yeah, just been caught, hasn't he, by the studs there of John Stout. I don't think there's anything in that. He should be okay, but certainly was a worrying moment for the Chelsea players, with Petr Cech having to make essentially what was a world-class save. Just need to reform, get their breath back and get a good shape again. The questions will be asked. Players need to do more. I think they need to step up a little bit more.
Holiday. Now Stead bursts through the middle from Moraes. Oh, it's a poor ball from Stead.
But again, it breaks down through Mohamed Salah, and it's so simple to keep the ball. This is what normally we do. Okay, we've got a lot of different faces in today, but normally we keep the ball so much better, and we're not doing that. We're making the wrong choices. We're dribbling when we should pass. We're passing in the wrong areas. We're losing our control on our touch, as we did there with Didier. You know, it's got to improve. It's got to get better.
Here's Ramirez. Oscar. Now here's a position where Chelsea can do some damage. Loic Remy. Remy's effort, and it's drawn the first save of the afternoon from Williams. He did well to squeeze that past Derby and on target.
Yeah, it's on target. As I said earlier, I think this guy might be the one to spark this game of light for us. At the moment, Didier's touch isn't quite there. We know it will get better. Salah seems to be losing the possession too much, so out of the three of them, for me, Loic Remy has been the brighter.
Here's Salah. Clip ball looking for Drogba. Pretty comfortable to defend though. Instead trying to hold it up at the other end. He's done well. Moraes brought to ground by John Mikhailovic. Another Bradford free kick.
Yeah, it's clumsy. That's all I would say. You know, John's trying to get his leg round, and there's no real room or space. Moraes has done really well to hang on to the ball. It's clumsy. He goes to ground. Whether there was enough is another question, but he goes to ground. Referee gives a free kick, and again Bradford push bodies forward, big targets to hit, and with a decent delivery we've got to be very, very sure of our marking.
The players standing offside for Bradford at the moment. Moraes sends it in. Cech thinks about it, comes and grabs it calmly.
And I think he should keep it here, Petr Cech, and he has done. That's the correct decision. He was going to throw it long early. I can only see us losing it from that situation today. We haven't seemed to be able to hang on to stuff when it's gone forward in the right areas. So I think we're better off keeping the ball now. It's a different game for us in a way. We have got to be a bit more methodical, a little bit, should we say, a little bit pragmatic about our passing. Just make sure we're accurate. Make them run about a bit more. They're not working hard enough. We're not forcing them to work harder.
It's Piliqueta. It breaks down. Oscar under pressure, doing really well. Oh, Drogba slip, but it's come back to Oscar. Shooting position here for Oscar. Drags it just wide. That's more like it.
Now a little bit better, although I'd have to say the passing was a little bit fortunate as well. But sometimes you make your luck, and I think if we pass and keep the ball and we're better in possession, we'll make our own luck. Pass was meant for Drogba. Salah nearly got on the end of it. Oscar picks up the pass after an intervention from a defender, and all of a sudden there's an opportunity to shoot for goal. He's unlucky.
Decent record in the FA Cup. Oscar, he's got 4 goals and 2 assists in 9 starts before today. Scored in rounds 3 and 4 last season. He got that beautiful free kick against Stoke here in round 4. Drogba, lovely touch. Here's Oscar again. Won't have to go alone now as Piliqueta's coming up to help out. Trying to tee it up for him. Derby knocks it behind for Chelsea's first corner.
Yeah, good running by Derby to get back into position, to be fair, but maybe as he did get back, there was a chance to play the ball a little bit earlier for Piliqueta. Drogba does really well, gets hurt in the build-up. Oscar does well, he's just waiting for a little bit of support. To be fair to Derby, that's good defending to get back into position. But with a corner, I feel maybe this is a chance for us as well, with Kurt Zouma gone forward.
Just too high for Zouma. Will be another corner.
Yeah, great movement by Gary Cahill as well. Very difficult to mark. Starts just behind the goalkeeper and then gets onto the edge of the 6-yard box. And if the players don't go with him, I think he likes to think he would get a free header. The actual lad who headed it wasn't the person who was marking him.
Well, that's a good ball, and it's brought the opening goal. Gary Cahill, the player who scored it, and Chelsea hit the front. His second of the season. Chelsea 1, Bradford City 0.
Well, as I was just saying, movement by Gary Cahill was absolutely brilliant on the corner before. Didn't quite get on the end of it. But the second time around, different type of movement. He's gone sort of mid-goal the first time. Second time, he comes near post, gets away from his marker. It's a lovely, lovely ball in with good pace. It dips beyond the first defender. To be fair, they should defend it better. But Cahill gets in front of his marker. Super little touch. Just guides it into the roof of the net.
Tell you what, that was Didier Drogba-esque, that was Zola-esque from Gary Cahill. Terrific goal.
Well, I said always when you're dealing with corners, you have to get to the ball first. And I felt they had a chance. I thought Andrew Davis was so concerned about who he was marking, and he was too tight for me. He could have made a yard or so movement either way and maybe knocked that one clear. But he doesn't do that because he's so concerned about the marking.
Instead, looking for Knott. Looking for an immediate reply. Oh, Drogba, that's brilliantly done. Not sure what he was thinking after that, mind you.
It's a strange one. I don't think he was too happy a moment or two ago. The referee said he had to go off the field of play for a slight injury. He didn't want to. He was a little bit disappointed. I think that's a little bit of frustration, that shot. That's clumsy. That's a bad challenge. It's clumsy. There's no need for that sort of challenge. I don't think it was over-aggressive, but it's not a good challenge, and players can get hurt from that. And thankfully Didier gets up, just wags the finger towards McArdle. Hence the reason why not happy with the challenge.
First booking of the afternoon to the Northern Irish international Rory McArdle. That Cahill flick was very similar to one that Casey Palmer put in against West Ham for the under-21s last night. I say it's Cahill's best goal for Chelsea, but he got that beauty at Spurs a couple of seasons too. Certainly an impressive finish, and Chelsea now looking in the mood for more. We always say it, but a goal really does change a game. Didier Drogba! Oh, he engineered something from nothing, and it was a smart stop from Williams.
Yeah, he's going nowhere, isn't he? And all of a sudden, this is what top players do. They just give problems all day long. Some would say he might have been trying to pick out a cross. There's actually no one there, so he's probably gone for the far post and trying to fade it in towards it. Goalkeeper does well, to be fair to him. It's a good fingertip save.
Oscar with the corner, looking for Cahill again, why not? Christensen. What will that do to Bradford's belief?
That should dampen it somewhat, and I think straight away we're seeing the reaction from their fans, Matt. Their fans have been terrific opening 20 minutes, and I'm sure they'll come back again, but it just dampens their spirits a little bit. And this is where we need to keep control of the football. Frustrate Bradford. Don't let them near the ball. We're in no hurry now to go forward, because I'm sure chances will come.
Oscar. Remy. Okay, into the feet of Salah. Bradford were maybe having the better of the possession before that goal, but it's certainly changed now. Pretty rigid in their formation. Hard to find a way through, but it's happened here, and Remy can make it too. And Andrew Davis did just enough to put him off as he tried to execute the volley.
Yeah, a little bit of luck. The deflection takes it into the path of Remy and Salah, and I think between the two of them they couldn't make up their mind. Didier tries the reverse pass. I think there's Remy on his right foot, Salah on his left foot. Well, Remy's taking it on. He's taking seniority in this situation and gone for goal. He doesn't quite get his strike right. That's a good ball.
Can Drogba get there? He's committing a foul apparently. Meanwhile, off the ball, Billy Knott's gone down too, pitching his head. Something for Andre Mariner to dissect.
I don't think that's a foul, actually. I think Didier's probably gone to ground, doesn't need to. Don't think there's a great deal of contact. I think contact was made on the football before it was made between the players. However, the referee feels it's a free kick. Billy Knott's okay. Game will go on. And we see the chance a few moments ago. Give the goalkeeper some credit. Ben Williams, he does well there to get a good left hand and push it away.
Stead. Oh, steered it into the path of Morais. Good header from Azpilicueta. This is Oscar. Remy. Oh, nicely done. Drogba. Just bounced off his foot.
Well, he's working hard, Didier. You know, it's as an older player, should we say, a senior statesman in the side, sometimes you have to give yourself a bit of time, you know, and I think concentration for him at the moment seems to be going away because a lot of those have bounced off his foot. I think he struggles with his first touch, and I think sometimes you go back to basics. You know, it doesn't matter how old you are, go back to basics and just say, okay, I'll keep the ball, I'll pass to a blue shirt, I won't try anything special. That's better.
Salah looking for room for the shot, is he? Driving into the penalty area. Meredith's got to be careful. Halliday came back and won it.
Well, he's almost running up a blind alley there, Mo Salah. Good defending Kurt Zouma.
Oscar. Second goal before half-time. It'd be very difficult to see Bradford getting back into it.
Well, it would be, but I think we need to just do what we're doing. Just keep the ball, be patient.
Azpilicueta's found some space here. That's for the 1-2 from Drogba.
Well, I said about Didier's touch, and again, just lets him down a little bit. There's no rhyme or reason. We never know why. Sometimes this sort of thing happens. A little bit of confidence, because the more he does it, the confidence will drop as it goes on. So he just needs a little bit of stability in there as a target man, just to keep the ball. We know he's well capable of it. And I'm sure after a few touches it will come. Here we see the goal again. Didier goes to the first one. Gary Cahill makes sure.
You'd have been proud of that, wouldn't you? Centre half.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just trying to get something on it, to be honest. I think he's got beyond the near post. When you go beyond it, you're just trying to help it goalwards. And he's made perfect contact with the ball. And it's gone into the roof and no chance for the goalkeeper. But you'd have to look at their defending. Yeah, whether it was about their marking, I think it's more about their positioning. I'm surprised there isn't a person at that near post there just to head clear, because it's not overly high, you know, it's not dropping in over the top of someone.
Chelsea score from a corner again, been a common pattern this season. Salah having to do some defending now. Meredith tugging his shirt, play goes on, this is Halliday. Skidded across the penalty area. Azpilicueta got it clear. Oh, beautiful from Oscar into the path of Mikel. Drogba on the turn. Wasn't meant for Ramirez, that.
And it looked like a simple pass that he could make there, Didier Drogba. Simple pass inside to Ramirez would have made it a lot easier than trying to hit a long one out towards Salah.
Derby. Parkinson just appealing for calm from his players down in front of us to try and rush to get their way back into the game and concede a second.
Looks like you say, Matt, I think if Chelsea do manage to get another one before half-time, it'd be difficult to see Bradford coming back. You never know, it's a cup tie. Things have happened in the past, and they've happened to Chelsea and for Chelsea, so it can happen. Christensen making a run right side, it's come short to Salah instead.
Oscar had it taken off him by Moraes. Stead. Looking for Moraes, but well read by Mikel. And Oscar's got options. Mikel again. Oh, it's a great ball into Didier Drogba. He couldn't control it. What a pass that was. Flag's gone up actually over on the far side. Wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, it was a tight decision though, wasn't it? But a lovely little ball by John Obi Mikel. Delightfully flighted into the space for Didier. Just offside. Can't quite get his boot around it. First touch was decent on this occasion, but couldn't quite wrap his boot around it, but offside nonetheless.
Azpilicueta wins the header against Moraes. He is not. Seem to have recovered now, Bradford, to some extent. Halliday. With the outside of his boot, looking for the run of Stead. Maybe you want to try and get James Hansen, the number 9, a bit more involved. I haven't said his name too often. Ball through the middle from Remy was almost perfect, but Davis has made a mess of getting it clear, so Remy can pick it up.
Yeah, I think he thought that his goalkeeper was going to come and take it. What a lovely pass, wasn't it?
Salah. Oscar. Ramirez. Oh, very intricate round the edge of the Bradford box.
Almost, wasn't it? Another one, little poke through ball there that might have got Salah through. Unfortunately, Remy couldn't quite take that ball in his stride from Oscar, because it's a fabulous pass.
Azpilicueta was being fouled by Moraes, but Andre Mariner is playing an advantage. Drogba. Ramirez didn't fancy the long ranger. It was Christensen, or Oscar rather, up to Drogba. Made a drop for Christensen.
Christensen's made a great run as well there. Maybe should have been played in.
Oscar trying to use his trickery. He's done so. Oh, I'm not sure why the linesman's got his flag up there.
Well, we talk about people going to ground very, very cheaply. I'm not too sure what was going on there, but the referee actually wants to have a word. Not with Didier. Looks like Felipe Moraes.
Well, there's another arm off into the face of Azpilicueta, and the ref played the advantage. It's the second time he's done it. This is why Oscar was penalised.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Just got caught. He's just tried to get across Oscar, and he's overstretched himself. And all he's done, he's thinking Oscar's there to make a collision against. Oscar's stepped off, and his body weight's gone too far. I think he's just fallen to the ground there.
Zuma.
Well, the Bradford fans have got their voices back, haven't they? They're certainly here to make sure their players get full vocal backing.
Oscar arrowed, looking for Drogba.
Unlucky as well, isn't it? Said Oscar needed to get involved a little bit more, and I think since I said that, Matt, he seems to have had a lot more to do as in an attacking sense. I think it was his corner, wasn't it, that created the first goal, but he's certainly got himself a little bit more involved now, and his range of passing has been excellent.
See if he can repeat the trick here. All eyes on Gary Cahill. Over it comes from Oscar. Too high for the goalkeeper, but out of play too.
Yeah, got that one wrong, Oscar. Everybody else came near post. When that happens, he'll be disappointed, but I'm sure he'll be on the corners on the next shout.
10 minutes of the first half to go. First time these two have met, by the way, since December 2000, when Chelsea won 3-0 thanks to a Sam Dalabona inspired performance. He scored, as did Messrs Johnson and Poyet. Expecting to see Idaho Johnson play for Bolton at Anfield later on today. Meetings between these two pretty rare down the years. Only the second time they've ever played in the FA Cup. The first, you might remember this one, Clive, it was in 1912.
Sometimes you are very cheeky.
Nice Piliqueta. Jose Mourinho would be much happier with the way Chelsea have played since the goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's just relaxed us, isn't it? It's made us feel that we can be a bit more adventurous and gamble a little bit more. But the confidence, you know, it's amazing how that sort of flows.
Bradford still looking threatening though. Here's Hansen.
Well, again, another free kick will give them a chance to load the penalty area. Christensen this time with the foul. He can't make contact with the ball there. He doesn't need to. Just stand off him. And we see the challenge. Just a little bit clumsy.
I would put good money on this being the first time that Andreas Christensen's ever faced anybody of this sort of stature physically of Hansen. And here comes Murray's free kick. It's a decent one too, and Czech's able to grab it.
Yeah, and again, Pelicek nice and sharp and make sure the ball didn't bounce in front of him, which made it a bit awkward. Just takes it cleanly.
Remy. Ramirez. Remy waiting for a cross here. Too close to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's a disappointing ball in, isn't it? And it's one of those where you just chip it up and goalkeeper comes and takes it. Really a cross of no purpose from Didier. After some good work, you know, gives a centre midfield player.
Here's Moraes.
Good tackle.
Brilliant tackle from Ramirez. 4 on 3 here in Chelsea's favour. This is Salah. He's teed up Ramirez. Beautiful goal. Well, Ramirez started it and he finished it too. And with half-time approaching, Chelsea double their lead. It's Chelsea 2, Bradford City 0.
Yeah, tidy finish by Ramirez in the end, and well worked as well. He deserved that. He's worked hard to try and shut the gaps at the back, but we know when he gets his chance, he gets it from a well-timed challenge on the around halfway. Plays a little 1-2 with Salah, runs into space and slots it comfortably home. I'm not too sure if 2-0 really flatters us a little bit, Matt, but we have been the better side since the first goal. And arguably, we'd say maybe another one just before half-time, I would think seals the tie.
6th FA Cup goal of his Chelsea career. Ramirez kissed the post on its way in.
It's just nice the way he's not blasted it, he's not panicked when he's got into that position. And he's just calmly slotted in. Yes, it's gone off the post, but that makes sure that the goalkeeper gets nothing on it.
Salah. Billy Knott. Hansen not blessed with a great deal of pace, but he's managed to catch up to that. Only stead in the middle, so he gives it short. Meredith's cross bashed off Christensen.
Yeah, good block. If you're going to try and put it in early, then it's important you make sure you get your block in.
Meredith's going to toss this into the penalty area, is he? No, he fooled everybody, or me at least. Got it back from Liddell. Derby. A race. Goal back before half-time would make it interesting in the second half. And this is quality from wide positions has been pretty good, but he was blocked at source there by Loic Remy.
Yeah, good blocking as well. Going back as a defensive player there, Remy does well.
Halliday's cross this time, headed away by Zuma.
Yeah, just a high boot, I think, by Remy there. I think that's what the linesman's suggesting. Free kick. I think the referee's suggesting that he was trying to play the advantage. I don't know what stage he could bring the ball back, because if this one had gone over the top of Azpilicueta, they were in, and he'd blown the whistle. So fine line. Race has got the chance to put this one in. Bit of defending for us to do here.
Potentially big moment in the match. The race with pace. Davis got his head to it. Stayed down, Davis. Ball still alive with Stead. John Stead! Oh, what a goal! And Bradford are back into it. Terrific hit from John Stead. And the League One side have half the deficit.
Well, it's just the one we didn't want, wasn't it, at this stage of the game? And what a strike by John Stead. He's just been allowed too much room. The corner comes in, Andrew Davies gets the first head on it. And it just goes wide and gives him a chance to pop the ball in the box. We don't get close enough. Ramirez allows him to get into a position for the shot. Half blocked, isn't it, after that? Or the attempt to block by Christensen. They don't get close enough. And that's a wonderful striker. And even Petr Cech can't keep this one out.
Scored in all 4 rounds now, has John Stead. That's the one he'll remember the most, though.
Well, it's given the one thing we didn't want to do is give them a lift, and that's what we've done. Well, we need another goal now.
Meredith.
We've just given the ball away too many times in this first half for me, Matt. We've not passed the ball like we know we can. We've not kept it well enough. Again, Salah gives it away. He's been the main culprit for me. There'll be some words at half time from Jose, because we know we can do a lot better.
Moraes. Oh, Hansen's offside here. I think with a neutral hat on, you'd have to say that Bradford deserved that goal.
Yeah, I think they do. You know, that's why I said when we got 2, slightly flattered us in some ways, but now they've got a goal back, I guess. Game back on, cup tie back on. Thing is, we have to do now, just calm down, switch our heads back on and get back into the right frame of mind. Make no mistakes, keep the ball, keep possession.
Oscar. Couple of minutes till the break. Away supporters have found their voice again, that's for sure. Chelsea stunned into silence by that brilliant Stead strike. This might work its way to Azpilicueta. Moraes didn't want to take any risks.
Yeah, a good bit of passing through midfield between Mikel Obi and Oscar. Oscar, that creator for me today. On corner duty again.
Again, he went for the near post. Again, he'll be able to have another go.
It was a bit shorter than the one where we scored from the goal, wasn't it? And this time Andrew Davies was alert. Make sure he got to the ball first.
Oh, good clearance away. There was panic for a moment in the Bradford back line. Salah scrapping to try and win it back, but Meredith can clear up to halfway. All of a sudden, we've got a cup tie on our hands again. We wondered if that Davis header that Cech saved brilliantly at 0-0 might have been Bradford's chance come and gone. It was not.
Well, it certainly wasn't, and they made sure on the second opportunity it went in the back of the net. And a strike from a seasoned striker, should we say, has played at the top, of course, and shown his ability at scoring goals.
Two extra minutes at the end of the first half. There's some cracking goals in this match, by the way. Stead's was unstoppable. Cahill's flick was delicious, and Ramirez's finish came at the end of a fine move.
Good work as well by Cesar. Hard work closing down higher up the park. I guess Jose will be disappointed the fact that Bradford have scored. Having said that, we've not been at our best, as we know we can be. And I think he'll be looking for more in the second half.
Hansen on the chase again here. Christensen thinks it's gone out, Andre Mariner doesn't. Ramirez with the header away. Meredith happy to accept another throw. One more chance for Bradford to equalise before the whistle blows.
I just wonder if there's a minute or so for the counter-attack. Probably not. This is the last chance.
But a corner.
Well, it's an extra chance, and looks like they're going to have time to take this corner. It always makes teams a little bit nervous. You don't want to give anything away, and you can be a little bit of nervousness. So go back to the same thing. Get to the ball first. Concentrate on your marking.
The race being moved out of the way by Halliday. Looking for the outswinger here by the looks of things. And the race might get to take the next one. That is the last act of a thrilling first half, more so than perhaps we expected. Gary Cahill stabbed Chelsea ahead midway through the first half, but only after Bradford had gone mighty close to scoring through Davis, denied by a brilliant check save. When Ramirez made it 2 on 38, we thought that was that, but John Stead's brilliant strike 4 minutes from the break means that this Cup's tie is still very much alive. At the break, at the bridge, the score is Chelsea 2, Bradford City 1.